Why did you want to become a film director?
I have no idea.
None whatsoever.
I began in painting and architecture, and I think I principally got involved with commercial filmmaking because of the models.
The models?
Yeah, the girls. There were, I was mesmerized by the girls in fashion. So most of the things I did early on were centered around fashion, fashion commercials, fashion products. And I just loved traveling around the world with the best looking women alive.
Where did you used to go, traveling around the world?
Oh, one year we had a kind of an endless summer. It was a year in which I shot literally 300 days. 300 shooting days. That's more than you do on a film. And it seemed every other day we were in a different country. We had an endless summer. We followed the summer. We began in the wintertime and went to Brazil. That was the first stop. I believe it was Rio. We were Rio, Sao Paulo. And because it was the middle of summer, and we were doing summer fashions, and so we followed the sun that year. And there was a film out at that time called Endless Summer. It was about surfing. And we were having an endless summer of girls.
So before working in commercials, doing painting, and I believe you studied architecture. Is that correct?
Mm.
You then wrote 2 screenplays, or you contribute. Actually, I'm not entirely sure what your contribution was. Did you completely write Silent Running and Magnum Force, or did you rewrite Silent Running and Magnum Force?
No, Silent Running was a project I was in New York, and I had no idea of how to write. I had no idea I was in the process of learning how to direct because I never went to film school. So I don't know anything of that kind of experience that kids have today. I have no idea of it. People like Scorsese went to film schools. And the film school influence can be seen, I think, in certain people's film. But I never had that luxury, and I never had the luxury of studying editing. I had to do everything on my own, so including writing. Writing became a kind of a necessity. The person who actually caused me to write Thunderbolt and Lightfoot is sitting here, my producer of many years and collaborator, Joanne Corelli, who produced Heaven's Gate and Deer Hunter, and was the force behind those movies. We met during the days when I was doing the short period of time I was doing commercials, and she was a very attractive girl running around in a mini skirt in New York, you know, and I thought, wow, this is really a hot number. And we began to date and everything, and then we got to know each other, and somehow I think I mentioned to her, you know, I wanted to do film. I'd like to. After doing commercials for a little bit, it doesn't take much, especially when you shoot 300 days a year, you naturally say, well, you know, I'd like to do something longer than 1 minute, or 30 seconds, or 20 seconds, or we even did things as short as 10 seconds. So she said, Michael, the only way that you are going to, this is quote, I remember all these years, Michael, the only way you will ever get to make a movie is if you write a screenplay and get the biggest star in Hollywood to do it and to agree to let you direct it. And that's it. I said, but Joanne, I don't know how to write. And she said, well, you better learn. And this is the actual dialogue. And I said, but it's impossible. So she convinced me that I had to learn to write. We went to Hollywood, and I shut myself up, and we had a little house, and I took 1 bedroom and I made it into a kind of office, and I would lock myself in from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, and I didn't know how to type, so it was one finger typing. And then she would hear me laughing. And when she would slip me a grilled cheese sandwich under the door, and that's all I would live on the whole time I worked on this screenplay. And she would say to me when I came out, "What are you laughing about in there every day?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "These characters are making me laugh." And that's how I came to write the first screenplay. And then I wrote it. It was original. It was just my own, and we gave it to Clint Eastwood, who was the biggest star in Hollywood, and he said yes.